By the end of this video, you're gonna be able to control your partial wedge distances after one practice session. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna come out to the practice area. Now, if you don't have a proper green like this, the range works fine. But what we need to do is control the big three. So John Sherman and Adam Young have a podcast. It's called The Sweet Spot. And in that podcast, they talk about the big three, which are ground strike, face strike, and face direction. But the two things I want to talk about today that can make a big difference for you is your ground strike. So making sure that the low point is after you hit the ball, your face strike, and that was the problem I was having. I was hitting so many shots off of the toe that I would get used to the distance off of the toe, and then I'd hit one on the sweet spot and it flies an extra 20 yards. You want the low point after the ball here. We don't want to be hitting the low point before the ball, because then we're going to be coming up at it. But one thing that helps with that is delivering with a little bit of shaft lean. That's going to de-loft your club face. So I'm hitting a 58, but it's coming out at more like 56 degrees. That gives the ball a little more spin. We want to make sure with that shaft lean, our club head's going to be coming down at the ball, which also creates what's called a steeper angle of attack. That's going to add more spin. It's going to give us a lower lofted ball flight and a lot more control on our shots. Let's try one. And by the way, I have an app that helps you track all this. It's called the Scratch app. It's going to be live in the App Store in a week or two. If you want to get on the list to be the first to try that app out, there's a link right here. It's just thescratchplan.com. You can join my email list where you get a free drill delivered to your inbox every week, and you'll be the first to know when the app goes live in the App Store. To help you know where you're hitting it on the face, use some foot odor spray. Just before every shot, you just cake that on your face a little bit. And we're gonna hit a ball and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, a little wide right. But from that foot odor spray, you can see exactly where I hit it, right in the middle there. And that's going to enable you to get feedback and know if your partial wedge distances aren't consistent. It could be that's okay. But those are the big three you want to focus on. So once you get through the practice session on the app, you go to the test session where you're going to be able to hit a bunch of, with partial wedges, there's 60-yard shots, and you count how many land within 20 feet. And then that'll compare you against the handicap level you're going for, whether it's a 20, 15, 10, 5, or scratch. The app's going to tell you where you land compared to that style of golfer. If that sounds good to you, if you're serious about getting better, grab that app. It's very helpful. Okay, so we're working on shaft lean, steep angle of attack, face strike. That one released a little extra on us. We want to be as consistent as possible with how that swing feels. So some of the thoughts that help me when I'm spraying it out and in like that, I want to make sure I'm keeping my wrist a little bit bowed on the backswing. I want to make sure my trail elbow is in front of my trail hip. That's a big one. And then the downward angle of attack, so the low point's after the ball, and just hitting the right spot on the face. That was toey again. That was the right swing. It was so far out on the toe. So that's the exact miss that plagues me with partial wedges. I'm sitting at a 10.6 handicap right now, and it's because of these shots right here. That was way out on the toe. There we go. Weird kick. Now, it's good to experiment with the height of your shot. If you can't get anything consistent laid down, switch it up. I'm having trouble today, so let me try just a low punchy one here. And that turned out pretty good. We're a little short, but. So we're at 60 yards today, and a scratch golfer is gonna average 20 feet from 60 yards. So the goal in doing this practice is to get so I can put it to 20 feet every time I'm hitting it. And one thing that helps, when you're doing the clock, 25, my hand goes to my pocket, 50 to the hip, 75 almost horizontal, and 100 just past horizontal. With that, you want your follow through to match it. So if I'm going 25, it's just a short follow through there with the hand. If I'm going 50, a little longer, etc., etc. So that's another thing to think about here when I'm playing this shot. And when I remember that, I get a much better result. Look at that, nestled right in there. So every single shot, we're thinking, why did it do that? Why did that go low? Why did that go high? Why did that start left? Why did that roll out? And we're adjusting until we find a feeling that we can just repeat time after time. That one was toey. Very easy to feel when it comes off the toe. And it rolled out forever because of that. So the toey shot doesn't carry as far, and it also doesn't have as much spin. Now ask yourself, how often do you practice this? I bet it's pretty much never. Which means when you do practice it, the dedicated practice time is gonna move the needle a lot faster than if you're out banging drivers on the range or hitting putts on the practice green. Those are both good things to do, but if you're like me and never practice this, it's gonna make a big difference for you. Oh boy. Getting lazy, standing up out of it. Even on these little wedge shots, that's my mistake, is I always stand up out of it. You gotta stay down on that ball, and you're going around, not up. There we go. One great thing about practicing these partial wedge shots is you'll find it makes you a lot better with your irons and your driver too, because you're teaching your body to get that right form that's gonna give you a lot better results on all your shots, not just your partial wedges. Okay, so I found what I was doing. I was standing up out of it, and that was really screwing me up. Now that I'm not standing up out of it, we're getting a lot more shots where we want them to go. Look at that. Every time now. You just got to figure out what you're doing. If your shots aren't consistent, there's something happening that's making it that way. We started out today garbage, long, left, right, short, and I couldn't figure out why. I was standing up out of it. There's always something you're doing that's the reason. You gotta be a detective, you gotta be a sleuth. Look at all the shots you're hitting, figure out what's going wrong, and then you'll start hitting consistently. So for me, I was standing up out of it. My early extension gets me even on these partial wedges. Once I stop standing up out of it, here's what happened. Beautiful. And that one might be a little short, maybe. Oh no, it's gonna get there. That's gonna be a good shot. Once you start getting in the groove correctly, you'll also find it feels like everything's more forgiving. I stopped standing up out of that, and even the shots that I think aren't that good, they still get the job done. So I've only been here for 30 minutes, and I'm already feeling so much more confident with the 60-yarder than when we started this session. Dedicate some time to it, be experimental, and remember the big three: ground strike, face strike, and face direction. If you guys haven't checked out the Sweet Spot podcast, that is gold. There's so much good information in there. It will make you a better golfer. So just keep doing this until you can put it to 20 feet, and then you're on par with a scratch golfer. Then you find your new weakness through the Scratch app and rinse and repeat. The system is fast. You're gonna see fast progress. You just gotta dedicate yourself to whatever is plaguing you, and you're gonna get better a lot faster. If you like this, subscribe, go to thescratchfind.com, get on the email list, and you'll be seeing that app very soon in the App Store. Thanks for watching.